All right, see. Hey, everybody. We'll get started in a second. We want to give people some time to get in. I had to figure out how to get up on here. Let me see what the light. Oh, we might can turn some more lights on. This lighting be something else, y'all. So we'll see how it works. If it's going to give me a glare, which it looks like that it is, sort of, kind of. Ugh. But nevertheless, this lighting be something else, y'all. So we'll see how it works. If it's oh, I'm like, I can hear myself in the background like that it is with this video. Do y'all hear an echo? Let me know as y'all coming in. Do you hear an echo? Because I do. I hear an echo. We'll see how it works. Oh, I'm like, I can hear myself in the background like that it is with this video. Do y'all hear an echo? Hey, K fella. Do you hear an echo or do you hear me regular? Because I hear like an echo. I hear an echo. But it could be, you know. You do hear an echo? Hey, K fella. Do you hear an echo or do you hear me regular? Because I hear like an echo. I hear an echo. But it could be. I don't know why. You know. You do hear an echo? Hey, K fella. Do you hear an echo or do you hear me regular? Oh boy, let me see here. Because the last time, like when I came into the live, I went into a whole different live. Now this time I'm actually coming into from. But if I mute the mic, then y'all can't hear me. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. But I did have. Let me see, because I was trying to make to see how it come up from another device, but I don't hear it. Yeah, that's what it sounds like, but I did. Oh yeah, I still do hear it. Let me see, because I was trying to make to see how it come up from another device, but I don't hear it. Yeah, that's what it sounds like, but I did. Oh yeah, I still do hear it. Let me see, because I was trying to make sure. Hey, friend. You said it's not doing it now? Device, but I don't hear. Because I can still hear it on my end though, but. Oh yeah, I still do hear it. If it's only me that's hearing it, I'm fine with that as long as y'all don't hear it. But it's like I can hear it behind the live. Because I can still hear it on my end though, but. Do I have a window open on Safari? Hold on. With that, as long as y'all don't hear, but it's like I can hear behind the live. Because I can still hear it on my end though, but. Yeah, TikTok. So I close out TikTok. Do I have a window open on Safari? Hold on. Lord have mercy, Jesus. It's like I can hear behind. I don't know. I don't know what to do, or if I go out and restart, like I don't know what to do. Yeah, TikTok. So I close out TikTok. Do I have a window open on Safari? Oh, thanks, sweet tea. Yes, y'all. Please like the live. I hope it doesn't. Do you have YouTube open on Safari? No, I have it. I don't even use Safari. I use Google for everything. Ooh. Are you saying should I be on Safari? Wait a minute. I don't hear nothing. I don't hear anything. Oh, you said going like I don't hear. Like I'm about to say I don't hear nothing now, so I don't know. Okay. Sorry for the technical difficulties, y'all. I'm still learning. I'm still learning YouTube, but it will not defeat me, okay? It will not. So thank y'all for hanging in with me as people comment. Oh, look, we got 4 people on and 4 likes. So y'all already up to par with that. Thank y'all so much. For everybody that catches this on a replay, if you have any questions, you can feel free to just drop it in the comments. Make sure you do like and share it as well. And I will answer you because I know this is during the day and people got to work and all that good stuff. So I am with today, what as promised, I'm doing Simplicity 8982. We are doing view D right here, and this is a very simple pattern. It's only 3 pieces and you're just using elastic. We do have a couple of darts in the back. which I like because darts help to form, you know, it gives you shaping. So if you had like a larger waist, smaller waist, or just anything, it helps to shape the buttocks area. And we all, you know, like to have a nice firm booty. So I always say, because this is cut on a fold, that if you are making something that's cut on a fold, like a skirt, that is good to have either darts in the back or have a back seam. So that way it can give you somewhat shaping. So, um, without further ado, I will show you my. I'm gonna show you the fabric that I'm using. Now, I've made this skirt several times, so each time I made it in a solid color. I made it doing color blocking, and if you guys saw the video, then you would. Why is that? Why is the screen going out? If you saw the video, I don't know why that started to dim out like that, as if like I'm not here on live. Like, YouTube, what y'all doing? Why are y'all trying to play with me today? So if you see me tapping the screen, it's because it keep blacking out, and yeah, I don't know why. So we're gonna keep it moving. Nevertheless, I did it in a solid color. I did it in color block, and so now I'm gonna do it in a print. Not sure, you know, what it's going to turn out to be. I'm sure it'll be cute, but so this is the fabric that I will be using. You know, we're getting ready to get into spring shortly, so lining up my spring wear collection to be able to wear out in these streets. So I am going to be using this print. It is a rib knit. You would kind of see you could probably see it, right? You can kind of see a little bit the ribbing on there, and it's a whole bunch of flowers. I just love the colors. I think it's a good transition going into spring, so that's what I'll be using. I will say though, depending on what type of fabric you're using, a lot of these fabrics have the white backing, which I'm a little iffy about that, especially when it comes to the fringe, because you know you're going to be able to see both sides. Look at it getting dark again. You'll be able to see both sides. So, but this is kind of okay because it does have white in the background of it. So it's not, you know, just keep that in mind when you do make this. And if you're using a knit that has a white backing on there, because you're going to be able to see it. So I was okay with it showing there because you do have some white peeking through on here. So I was like, it won't be too bad. So we'll just really go ahead and get started. Once we get over to for the fringe part, I'll go over the different rulers. So I don't want to be jumping back and forth because I don't have like different screens. So I don't want to be bouncing y'all all around. It's just when we get to that part, I'll go over the rulers. But this will be a really quick and easy. So again, for the midday quickies, is really quick project, something that you could do that's going to be super cute, super simple, but it's going to have like the bomb effect. Is really going to be a vibe, and people will think you know you took a whole lot of time making this and doing this, but you really did. So that's the vibe we're going for, because you know we don't have a whole lot of time, and sometimes we really need quick sews. And so this would be one of those things. It's a really quick sew. Again, 3 pieces. You can literally be in and out. But for the sake of the video and just showing the process, you know it'll be a tad bit longer. So for view D, you would need pieces 13. I ain't even look. 13, 12, and I guess this will probably be 11. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 13, 12, and 11. That's the only pieces that you will need. Why does the screen keep going out? Like I'm not here. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But okay, so if y'all see me keep doing that, that's because the screen keep blacking out. All right, and I don't know why, because you know I'm here on the live, but I'll have to do some more research when it comes to this and see what the what is. So this is the front piece. Again, it's just regular. So this is what it would generally look like. That's what the front piece is looking like. But in the back, okay, I have the markings here for your darts. If you can it's kind of green, but it's there with the lighting. You'll see the markings back here for the dart. So I'm gonna go ahead and pin that. What we'll do here first before we go over to the cutting board. Thank you all. I see more people coming in, and y'all also liking as you come in. So thank you so much for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and pin the darts. I'm gonna pin the darts, sew the darts, and we sew the side seam and sew the waistband. We're gonna do all of that in one shot. So that way when we get over here the uh to my table to be able to do the fringe, like literally that's the last step, is to really cut the fringe. And because this is knit, you don't have to do any finish. I mean, you definitely can if you want, but I've made this, like I said, a couple of times. My fringe, now depending on what type of knit that you use though, if you have like, if you was on my live on TikTok last night, that knit would not be the knit you would want to use for this because it gets fuzzy. And so it would start to look, it would start to look raggedy in a short period of time. So again, my rule of thumb, I love Ponte knit. You just cannot go wrong with Ponte knit. Um, and whatever other knits that you choose to use. I know people like to use scuba, and that's a little thick. But if you like the thickness, by all means, go ahead and use it. Um, it's just that you just want to have a knit that is not going to get fuzzy on you or fray. And so far, Ponte knits has been my friend. I have not had an issue or a problem with it at all. Oh, you like the pattern? Thank you. What type of fabric is that? It is a rib knit. It's a rib knit. And what rib knits are is just knit that has like little ridges in there, like little detail. Why is this green? Hey, Janine, you made it, friend. It has like, you see the little ribbing in there. It looks like they're white lines, but that's actually that's the ribbing that's in there. So yeah, it's just a rib knit. And I had just enough to go ahead and make this. So I said, well, why not? Because I think it will be nice for spring. And the hoodie and the hoodie, because I can. You could wear it with a hoodie. You could wear this fringe skirt. Well, really with anything, but I think it's a great transitional piece because it does give you some covering on your legs. I mean, it's not covering your whole entire leg, but you could put stockings if you like to wear them. I'm not a stocking girl, but I will throw on some fishnets in a heartbeat. Okay, so I am a fishnet girl. And so it would really be cute with, rocking it with some fishnets as well. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and do the waistband since I already have the waistband here. Oh, this is okay. Well, hold on, because I pinned the waistband. Let me flip this around. And generally, y'all, I'm using my blue thread that I used from the live last night. I would normally change it out, but you're really not going to be able to see any of this. And even if you like, the thread still matches when it comes to this side. Like normally, I would use a thread that would match the backing of my, because you just want it all to be seamless into your fabric, but it's not a big thing for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep it blue because I still have to finish up what I did from last night. And I just didn't feel like switching it out. And so yeah, generally I would go ahead and switch it out and switch it to white since this backing is white, but it's not that big of a deal. But if it'll bother you though, then go ahead and switch it out. Good afternoon, Sparker Parker. You said you love fishnets? Yeah. Really, Tata? Okay. I do. I just got me some more. I think I got at least about 8 new pairs because the ones, after a while, fishnets, the wear and tear. But I still was wearing with big old holes like in the crotch area. Nobody was going to see that part. But, so I was still wearing it. And I'm like, girl, if you don't go ahead and just go get you some more. Now, I am using the same pattern that I used last year to do this. So, yeah, like hopefully it fits. I'm sure, it will. But the idea here is I'm making things, okay, because I'm still on my journey of releasing this weight. So if it be a little snug, by the time the spring really rolls in, it will be A-okay. That's how I look at it. Thank you. Thank you very much. So now we're going to just go ahead and sew up the side seams to create the waistband. And we're going to leave a little opening so that way you can snake through your elastic. Is anybody plan on making this? If you're not making it right now, do you plan on making this skirt? It's a really cute, this is my go-to. This pattern here, it gives you so many options. I did a lot of pattern hacking, color blocking using this pattern here itself. So, you know, this is one of my go-tos. I always keep out. I have like a little bin over here. It's for like my go-to stash when I want to make something real quick. That's what I go to, that pile over there. But this is still like one of my go-tos. As well as now the Malika skirt, because I done fell in love with that. I do plan on making another one of those as well. But yes, so my go-to pile is growing. You say, yes, I plan on making it in the near future. Okay. Okay, okay, now that's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. And I want to see too, so make sure y'all be posting it. I know we all on multiple platforms, so if you're not posting it here, post it somewhere so I can see. But it's really easy, and once you get this ruler, you don't have to get this ruler, but it'll make it much easier for you, you know, to cut down on time. But if you're a person that's real precise, and you know you like numbers and you know like drawing, like people that I feel like that are into what do you call quilting and stuff like that, it may not be a big thing because you know y'all have like a whole lot of rulers that y'all be playing around with. Not playing like, you know, I'm not trying to down your craft, but you know what I mean. Like y'all use a lot of different rulers, so it may be a thing. You might want to sit there and you know create that. It might be therapeutic for you. I don't know, but if you're like me and you're trying to do it the easiest way possible, then yeah, you want to go ahead and get the ruler. So now that we did it, I left the opening here to be able to snake it through. I'm gonna go ahead and pin that down so we can base this all around. So we're going to go ahead and do a basting stitch. I need some water. So I'm going to go ahead and pin this all the way around. And again, depending on, you know, your level of sewing, you know, sometimes people don't, you could just go ahead and pin it to your skirt once you do that. But I just want to show you the way to do it, you know, so you don't have to have too many mistakes as you go along. Because sometimes pinning, this can move around. And so this is a sure way to keep your waistband even if you just go ahead and, so you're going to put wrong sides together. Sorry, I didn't say that. So after you sew it up, it'll look like a flat piece like this. So now, normally everything is right sides together, but now you're going to put the wrong sides together like this. And then that's how you're going to just go ahead and pin it all around. And then you're going to do a basting stitch. So that way it holds it into place. And then you can take the pins out. Because once you put it to your skirt, put it to the skirt, you're going to have to put more pins in there. So this just alleviates all the bulk with all the pins. And you sticking yourself a million times because you have so many pins in here. So let's just go ahead and I'm going to put some more pins in here a little bit. Because I've done a waistband before where it got twisted, and that's an uncomfortable feeling to have. And, you know, sometimes I was like, man, forget it. I'm going to just keep going. Yeah, I should have took it out. So this is the safest way to go ahead and pin it. And get it out the way. And so now I'm going to do a basting stitch, which is the longest straight stitch on your machine. Let me see if I can turn like this light up just a little bit. I'm trying to see like which one. No, they still looking like the same. All right, and so here we go. We're just going, I go from one side seam to the other, and I'm only doing 3/8 of an inch for the basting stitch. And because it's knit, I like to pull it a little bit through so it does not get stuck. And also too, that pulling it a little bit, it makes the stitching a little bit longer. Because again, I'm not trying to make this like more so like the stay stitch, even though it is. This basting stitch you can take out, but I never do because I just sew right over it. But the basting stitch is literally a temporary, is meant to be a temporary stitch. So, my physical thing. Oh, okay. Cool. I'm glad everything worked out. Welcome back, friend. So, yeah. You didn't miss anything. We're still right at the very beginning. Just go ahead and... But so for some reason, like also if it got twisted or whatever, you kind of pulling it along again. You're not yanking it. You just giving it a little tug. Because sometimes with basting stitch with knits, even though it's a basting stitch, that thing be pretty tight in there. So this kind of helps it really not be that tight and just really giving you the basting stitch like that is meant to be. And I'm back. See, that's the thing, because it keeps going out and I'm not sure why it's doing that. I'm making the fringe skirt. If you saw the video, that we're using this pattern right here. And then I'll show you how I create the fringe on the bottom of the skirt. So that's how we're doing that. Is this plugged in? Maybe. Is it not? No, everything is. So yeah, I'm not sure why it keeps tapping out on you, girl. But if it blacked out for a second or froze, that was why, because the screen had blacked out. But I'm not sure why it's doing that. So I'm going to have to look into that. All right, so now I'm just taking the pins out. So I'll be watching the screen a lot because, yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, guys, see there's 15 people in here, but I have 7 likes. If you guys can, like, if you tap out real quick, like it and come back in, I would greatly appreciate it. So YouTube knows that we, that we are true to this, okay, and we're here to stay. All right, and we appreciate this space and opportunity. Okay, so if y'all can please do that. And please come back. Like, go out and come back in. Your girl will greatly appreciate it. I'm looking forward to be doing some more lives on here. I'm just trying to get my footing together. Just trying to, figure it out, work it out with the schedule. But thank y'all for, like, following me all around these internet streets. I really appreciate it because you could be anywhere else doing anything. And y'all coming here to support me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now we're getting ready for the back of the skirt. We're getting ready to do the darts here. And for my darts, I don't do any back stitching. I literally just run it all the way through. Again, because I'm going to be attaching the waistband to the top of the skirt. So I don't feel the need to necessarily do back stitching, but I do sometimes, like I just showed you right there, because you can. But it doesn't mean that you have to. I don't do any back stitching when I get down to the bottom of the dart. I just let it run off. And, like, still have it run a little bit and then cut it. And I just leave it. Some people tie it. I never had an issue with mine's coming out, especially with knits, because it's already intertwined in there anyway. So I've never had a problem with it unraveling. I need to plug it in. I do generally would like to, press it, but we have such a print, you really can't see, but I do press my darts. Darn, that's so good. You really can't see it, but it's right here. That's where the dart is. So we got to go ahead and do the other one. Darts is definitely, I know sometimes people say they don't like doing darts. Darts is something that you really just have to take your time and do, because it's such a, like, simple little process. But if you mess it up, like, you could tell when you botch a dart, like, it really shows. So it's just better to go ahead and take your time. And but I like doing darts. I don't have a problem with them. I love all kind of darts. So yeah, they don't bother me. But when I first got started, it really was a thing of of, doing it the right way. Because sometimes I would, like, oh shoot, I didn't go down enough, and then I'm hurrying trying to get over to the side so that way it can run off on the side. But doing them for so many years now, it's okay. So now we got both of the darts in there, which you cannot see the darts in the back, but they're there. And so what we're going to do now is put right sides together. We're going to put the front to the back. Again, the front didn't have any darts. It was only in the back. So we're going to put the front to the back, pin them on the sides, and then we're going to sew down the side seams, matching your notches. I do my notches in little triangles right there because it's easier for me to see. And I'm not really a big fan of cutting into my fabric because I've cut too far too many times. So I was like, you know what? There has to be a better way. And then one day I saw somebody doing it with the triangles. And I said, you know what? I'm going to start doing that. And I've been doing it ever since. So, yeah. So here we go. Just, again, going to pin up both of the sides. And again, y'all, this is really a quick, easy sew. And I believe this pattern is still fairly new, so you'll be able to get it. Simplicity 8982. You shouldn't have a problem getting it. But yeah. And did y'all see the weather is going to be nice this weekend? It's like, I don't know what's going on with this weather. We had like a real winter, like you wanted to have these snowstorms, and then we turn around and it's going to be nice. Going to be nice outside. I know the sun is beaming through right now, but I love natural lighting, like natural light. So as soon as I get up, one of the first things I do in the morning after my like morning rituals or devotions is to open my like to open my blinds. Like I have to have nice lighting to be able to see. But again, I'm just pinning up the other side here. And I will try this on so you can see what it looks like when it's all said and done. Right now, I'm just sewing down the sides. And once I finish this, I'm going to grab a bottle of water really quickly and turn this fan on. Because there's something about going live and I just get hot. So, so again, you want to pin down right sides together, putting the front of the skirt to the back of the skirt, pinning down your side seams, so then you'll get ready to go ahead and sew them up. But give me a quick second so I can grab a water. Yeah, I looked out. It was one left in there. One left. Okay. All right, so now let me get these scissors up. So what do you want to do? I normally, when I start from the bottom to the top. That's kind of like how I sew most of all of my stuff. So yeah. I'm going to go ahead and do this at 5/8 of an do I want to do that? Yeah, because I'm going to cut the fringe in there, and the fringe is actually going to give it some more space. So we're going to normally I still would do like a 1/2 inch, but we're going to go ahead, y'all, and just do 5/8 of an inch because I really want this, especially with the rib nip. I want it to be, little snug. Hopefully it's not too snug, and I'm, getting carried away with myself. But we're going to go ahead. Look, now the pieces is flying because I had this fan on. But we're going to go ahead and do it the 5/8 of an inch. at least for this bottom part. But once I get a little bit up to the top, past the hip, because you know I'm not hippie at all, so I don't need that extra space for the hip part. But once you start to cut into it and make the fringe, it kind of loosens up the skirt for the bottom part of the skirt anyway. So you're going to have space there. Anyway. So it is Hump Day Wednesday. I always say it's like the middle of the week. So if the beginning part of your week was not going the greatest, it's your opportunity to self-reflect and say what can you do differently to let the rest of your week go well. And if you've been having a really good week, then hey, keep it going. You know what I mean? I know for me, the beginning part of this week did not uh it was not going the way that I envisioned it going. But that's life. And so, but what I did say was, but I'm going to keep going though. I'm not going to allow this to distract me and take me off of my goal and what I'm trying to do. So I applauded myself for that. Like sometimes we got to look at those little moments and be like, but I didn't give up though. And that's your win. You know what I mean? Just that simple. It's like I refused to quit. I didn't give up. So yeah, that's my win of the day. As me, I'm the type of person, I don't like to go around spilling like all of my business out on social media. That's just not my style. But what I'll do is kind of like, go on my little hermit mode and handle and come back out. But sometimes, depending on, what you got going on in life, you just can't always do that. You got to be able to get, you know what I mean, fight through it. So you'll know when those times is where you need to kind of like go away for a minute and regroup and then to come back out. And then you have those times where it's like, yes, you do have this going on, but you got to push through and you still got to show up and do what you need to do. So, because mental health is important. So I'm not telling somebody, telling people like, yeah, I know you feel like you about to fall out and you can't take it or whatever, but keep going. Like, nah, you got to examine what's going on. And if it's something that that this is not a life sentence, this is just a moment in time, and you really don't necessarily, you would prefer to go in hiding, but you need to push forward, then that's when I say go ahead and push forward. But if it's a time that you got to take to yourself, then you got to do that too, because we need to survive. We need to be able to regroup. So now I'm just sewing down the other side. Mm-mm-mm. What I'm going to do with this, I'm going to press my seams open. I'm iffy when it comes to serging knits. I will serge them, but if I'm wearing something that's kind of fitted and those ridges can see, you can see that imprint, then I won't serge. I would rather, or you can serge each side, you know what I mean, and lay it flat. You could do that as well, but I'm not a stickler on that, especially if it's for me. If it was for somebody else, it would definitely get serged. But for myself, I'm not a real stickler on like, oh, I gotta have this finished, because it's not going to fray or anything. So it's just a personal preference, and I like the way that it lays better without that extra bulk. So what I would prefer to do is to go ahead and just press the seams open, since it's for me. All right, so now this will be a cute little number two for the mom brunch. Please keep in mind, I will be more information coming out with that, but it will be in on IG. So if you are here and if you are a YouTuber, but you also have Instagram, to please follow me over on Instagram at Malorier Designs, because I have a group there. My channel is Bold as Mom Community, and that's where the information is going to be dropped in there in reference to the mom's brunch. So if you are in the DMV area, and it seemed like something that you will want to be a part of, join the group so you can get the information about that. Okay? Okay. So now we have both sides are sewn down. We have everything sewn. I'm gonna go ahead because I like to, I feel like it's such a difference once you sew something and you press it like right then and there. Of course you can go back and press at any time, but I don't know, to me it's something about just pressing it when you first do it. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you have pancakes and you put the butter on right after they come out. You know, you don't wait, and you put it on right there, you know. So it's like one of those type of moments. It's y'all, I love food. That's why I refer to a lot of stuff with food. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug this iron in so we can get ready to go ahead, and I'm just gonna press the seams open. So we're gonna go ahead and let that warm up. Do anybody have any questions though thus far while I am prepping for the iron? Then it seemed like so far everything is kind of, you know, super easy that you could be able to pick up on your own, and follow along and make it. Let me get my elastic. Now I like the no roll elastic. To me, I think it's sturdier. And I just don't have any problems with it. I think it's sturdier. So when I actually cut my elastic, what I do, I don't use no guide. I use my body as the guide. So generally where I put my, I will measure pretty much where I will wear my skirt at, which is kind of like around here, kind of like where my pants is now. So what I would do is for my elastic, I kind of see like what kind of stretch that I would want in here. And that's how I determine how I'm gonna cut it, because you know how you want, how tight. This screen needs to stop playing with me. How tight you want it to be. And so then I would just simply just cut it. And that's how I do. That's how I do the elastic for all of my waistbands, whether if it's a pant or anything that requires an elastic waist. That's how I measure to do the elastic. Yes, I use a narrow zigzag stitch for knits. You use a narrow zigzag stitch. They also have several different stitches that you could use. The lightning bolt stitch to me is like too serious, and like it just does too much and it takes too long. So but if you feel more comfortable with like in using that, you can. But if you want to kind of have more of like a steady normal sew like you would any other project, use a narrow zigzag stitch for your machine. So thank you for asking that, because I totally forgot to say that. And I don't want, please don't use a straight stitch in doing this. Do not use a straight stitch. Use a, so we're going to go ahead and press. I'm just turning you a little bit to my ironing board. I will be using my clapper. I do use my clapper on knits. I use it anytime I have a seam. I do use it. Generally, I will put a cloth on here, or I also use, I don't really use a cloth, but what I use is parchment paper. But I don't need it for this project. So you just want to go ahead, and you don't have to have it on there long either. I just go ahead and because we just want to open up that seam. And I got a nice little steam here on my iron. Y'all, I still got to clean my iron off. I did not forget what y'all told me before, what I could put on there with the salt. I just have not gotten around to it yet, as you can see. But Okay, so again, just ironing. And it's a different between press. You don't really have to, like, pressing is like you letting it sit there. If you're ironing, you know, you're moving it up and down. I don't really need to, like, you know, like press. It's not that type of it's not that type of party for this project, but you just want to I just want to be able to open up my seams. So, and get them nice and flat. You could also cut down the seam allowance too as well, but to me, keeping it this way with the ridging, and because again, I'm not hippie or anything. I don't think it's going to matter, so I'll leave it as is. Because of course, when you cut it, it'll make that a little bit shorter. But again, it's to your personal preference. It's like it's okay either way, whatever you decide to do. So now that we have all of that together, so you can see now we have the skirt is formed. This screen, I don't know why it keeps going out, but this is the back. And you can't even see the darts because of the print, but they're right there. And then this is the front. So what we're going to do now is add the waistband. And so the rule of thumb, because we have this opening here, and I've done this several times where I would have this like on the outside, when it's supposed to be, when you should be able to flip it up, and it needs to be on the inside. So know that once you attach this to your skirt, you want to make sure that this is on the outside. You want to make sure you could see your opening. If you could see the opening on the outside, then you know that you have it right, because when it flips up, it's going to be on the inside. So that's the rule of thumb. That opening, you always want to have it on the outside when you're pinning it to your skirt. And so we're going to start with the side seams first. We're going to pin the side seams, both side seams first. And I'm going to use my thicker pins this time because this right here is a little more bulkier there. So we're going to go ahead and pin the side seam first, and then we'll walk our way around the other side. Now for the waistband, because typically these waistbands are not, I mean, I don't know about you, but for me, they're not my size. Like the size that I cut for my skirt is not the size I need for my waistband. So measure out your waist and add whatever amount of inches that you feel like you need. I added 2 inches. I added 1 inch on each side for my waistband to give me more room in the waist area. So also keep that in mind, because their measurements is always much smaller. And yeah, your girl's waist is not that small. So just go on ahead and add what you need to add for your waistband. So that won't be an issue. And by you putting in the elastic anyway, that'll help, still get snatch you up. So yeah. What is the difference between zigzag stitch and the string stitch? What's a string stitch? Did you mean straight stitch, or is that, I don't know what a string stitch is. I'm not sure if that's, um I'm not sure what that is, Janine. So let me know if it is. That's something that I would even have to look up, because I don't know what that is. But in reference to, straight stitching, is that the idea for straight stitch is not going to, you're not stretching it. And usually with knits, it's something that you stretch, so you're constantly pulling on it. And so when you do a zigzag stitch, that gives you the wearability, like because of the zigzag, that's what it's meant to do. So when you're pulling it, it's still going to give you that structure that you need and that flexibility to allow you to be able to pull on the stitching without it breaking. Stretch stitch, you won't get. If you ever notice you put on something, you hear something popping, your threads are popping, and it's because of that. I noticed with a lot of things that they will put a straight stitch in where you have an elastic waistband, but then it starts to pop, and that's why because of that. But if there's actually a thing of a string stitch then I'm actually going to look it up because or maybe I might call it something different because y'all know I be coming up with different names of things. So I may have a different name for that, but I will definitely look into that to see what that is. So again, I'm just pinning it around the waistband, and you can put any amount of pins you want in here. It's totally up to you. I say do whatever feels comfortable to you, so that way you don't have to constantly keep, taking it out or having to use a seam ripper to get it out. So now I'm going to go ahead and pin the back. And then normally for the waistband, you would have to pull it a little bit to fit, to like ease it in. But like I said, because I made my waistband a little bigger, it kind of sits into the skirt where I don't really have to do a whole lot of pulling and tugging on it. I did a little bit for the back because of the darts, but that's the idea for it to, to kind of pull you in anyway. So, changing, don't forget to change your machine back to the narrow zigzag stitch after you do your basting stitch, because you will have to redo that all over again. So now that we have everything pinned, I just want to check here with the back, because this back, when you pull it, so I do a test. So you see how you had those little ridges, but when I pull it a little bit, it straightens right out. So that's kind of what you want. You want to make sure that you'll be able to, so that way it doesn't get caught up when you're doing the stitching. So now I have everything how I want it to be. We're going to go ahead back to the machine to be able to sew the waistband on. Now the elastic I'm going to put in it at the very end because it does pull. So I want this skirt to be nice and flat to do the fringe. So that will be the last thing that we would do, is add the waistband, add the elastic in the waistband once we already create the fringe in the skirt. Oh, you said you stood. Oh, that's no problem. That is no problem. That's what we're here for. So, and listen, I've been sewing for years and I'm still learning different things as well. So it's always something that you can learn when it comes to sewing. There's always something to learn. It's always a different way of going about doing something. You could have been doing something the same way for 10 years. Somebody come, show you something different, and it's like, wow, I wish I known this, and then you start doing that. So it's always something to learn. I know what I know, and what I don't know, I'll be like, oh, I don't know nothing about that. I gotta check into that myself. So that's the beauty with sewing. You don't ever have to feel like, because you don't know this and you're not really a sewist and all of that. Child, it is so much to learn when it comes to sewing. The possibilities are endless. It's just totally up to you how far you want to go with it and all of that. And now it's you can be able to ask questions and get answers more now than you could back in the day. So take advantage of that. Take advantage of asking questions. So again, it's kind of, again, like you pull a little bit when you're using knit. You kind of help guide it through the presser foot, because it can get thick, and this waistband is a little thick because of all of the layers. So I just tug it a little bit as I'm sewing. You do want to take your pins out. I don't all the time, but you should take your pins out while you're sewing. When you get up to a pin, and take them out, because you don't want to mess your machine up. But I will admit, I do not do it all the time. I don't. But I'm getting better at it. When I get my new machine, I definitely want to make sure that I handle it with care. Oh, you said your family knows. Oh, well, then you got some resources. Or you may, because, just because, that doesn't mean just because you have family that sews, or, you know people that sew, that they're just going to show you or have the time to be able to do it. But sorry, y'all, if that blacked out. I keep telling you the screen keeps going out. I'm going to have to Google that and see what that's about, because I don't know why it's like blacking out as if like I'm not here live. So it didn't do that the last time, but I also didn't go in through the live like I did this time. So I'm not quite sure what's happening. But I try to catch it before it blacks all the way out. But yeah, I don't know what's that's all about. Hey Sabs, how are you, friend? Hey Zelda. I am sewing Simplicity 8982. I am creating a fringe skirt. I'll show you the pattern in a second once I'm done this waistband. But I'm showing the audience how to make a fringe skirt using this particular pattern. Now, sewing this by yourself, you literally can get this done in an hour or two, depending on how you sew. But this is meant to be a quick sew. It really is a quick sew. And so we're really just about done anyway, and we're 51 minutes into this live. And I kind of explained stuff at the beginning, so we didn't actually even start at noon, and we're just about done. So yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say that this really is. You could really get this skirt done in an hour. And I think it will be a great addition to your wardrobe. We're getting ready to get into spring, you know what I mean? Let them legs out. But this is view D, so I'm going to create the fringe off of this. Okay, so it's a tried and true. I love this. Love this skirt. So now here we go. So now we have the waistband. We have the waistband onto this skirt, and now to the fun part. Okay, now we get to the fun part. And again, with this, if you plan on doing any surging, doing all of that, you could do all of that now before we get to this next part. But I'm going to go ahead. We're just going to go ahead and move forward, because I don't necessarily need to do that. Like for certain stuff for myself, it's not a big thing for me to surge my stuff, because I be trying to hold on to my threads. But yeah, so let me get this set up so I now can get ready to move y'all over to this table. I'm unplug it. I'm gonna move a little slow, so that way y'all don't be bouncing all around. But we're gonna get here to the table, and hopefully y'all can see. I'm gonna turn on my light over here. I told you I have a lot of lights. My lighting they be really playing me when it's for these lives. But I have so much lighting in here. But I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out to work it to where I'll get my lighting together. So you kind of see the reflection from the ring light on here. But nevertheless, so this was my first ruler that I had when I was playing around with fringe. I had put this like kind of on the sides of my skirt. And then I was like, man, I want to do bigger fringe. So I was going to get more of these, and it was about to be a whole little something. And so, what is it? What's that place? Joann's had the bigger one. So this is the one that I will be using to, and again, if you watch, it's in my stories. If you watch the stories, I had put it in there with the name of it and all of that is. So this is what I'm going to be using to create the fringe, because as you can see, it's so much bigger. So it makes it a hell of a lot easier to go ahead and make the fringe. You waiting on your delivery? Oh yes, I know that's right. We got to get ready for the birthday. Shout out to all my Aquarius in the building. My birthday is exactly 1 week from today, and I'm super excited. So shout out to all of you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. So here are some other rulers that you could also use to, like to create if you wanted to make bigger or smaller fringe. So I'm just showing you different rulers. If you do not have this type of ruler, it will take you longer, but you can also use just like a regular ruler as well. So you can use basic rulers if that's all that you have. But if you're interested in actually doing fringe, if you like fringe like I do, I mean, I was on this fringe binge, like something serious, then I would suggest you could actually get a coupon. Walmart actually has these too. I'm not sure if it's actually this size though. But they also do have rulers like this for $20. But if you, Joann's, if you get the 60% off coupon and get this, I think it comes to around 20, but less than $25 for sure. Because rulers can be expensive. So if you use the coupon and get this, you know what I mean, and buy this like with the 60% off, then you can get it for like probably like $22, $23. So, okay. Let me see. Yes, I got it. Oh, you got it when it yes. Okay, I'm glad you got it. Yay! That'd be so excited. Yes, 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 Janine. Yes, yes. Aqua Gang, Aquarius gang in the building. All right, y'all. So here goes the fun part. So I'm gonna lay it out so that way y'all can see it from, yeah, that's a nice little view. So now what I do is I make sure it's flat. Like, make sure it's flat. I actually use some of my weights. I got these from a local mom and pop store. You can find these weights also in your local, like Home Depot, Lowe's, and stuff like that. They do cost a little more, but I don't think they actually have like this size. But I use weights. But now you can buy weights in all different kind of cute weights, any and everywhere. So I just put, like a weight down there to make sure that it keeps my fabric still. Because you want to make sure that it's nice and flat. Because that's going to make a difference when it gets to this fringe. You said you purchased one also? Yes. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. So literally, my fringe, I literally do it from, if you can see like the holes here from the top is where you start at and where it ends at down here. So that's how long I make my fringe. Like, I want it to be, but what I do is for this bottom part here, let me see if I can show like a piece of, so when it gets to the bottom of the skirt, so that way it can run off, I would put hold on. So I'll put it here at the bottom. Like, I'll pull it up a little bit so that way when I cut it, it's going to cut all the way through and just run off at the bottom. Because sometimes too, when you actually cut this, and you want to make sure too, which I did not do. So if you'll see if it actually happens with this, but what you want to do is when you get to this part, you want to make sure your rotary cutter, you have to use a rotary cutter. You cannot use scissors. If you could somehow use scissors doing this, let me know. Because I don't know how you're going to do that. But you use a rotary cutter because you're just going to go through each line. And sometimes it's hard to remember where you were at. So you have to, this is something like I literally take my time with. Because I was like, wait, did I do this? You don't want to keep going back and forth and keep cutting over the same thing that you did. Because it might make it, you want to keep it precise as possible. So this is really the time where right now I'm going to kind of look up at y'all to make sure the screen don't go out, because I don't know why it keeps popping out. But if you have questions, I will answer the question after I'm finished with this part, because you definitely have to concentrate. Like you have to concentrate. And you got to make sure that it's kind of even to your liking. Because when it gets to the side seams, you're going to have a little bit more space over there because of the fact that it is the side seam. But it shouldn't be so far off that it looks crazy. So I'm noticing the back of this skirt is kind of hanging down a little bit. So again, let me readjust Oh, let me move it up some so y'all can actually see the bottom of the, yeah, you can see the bottom of the skirt now. So I'm gonna move this out the way real quick because you can see the bottom of my skirt is hanging a little bit lower, which is fine because the back, it should, because of your bump, like you should have a little bit of space. I don't know why that seems to be much, a little bit longer right there, but it's, again, that's not nothing to, not nothing to be alarmed about. We're gonna keep it moving. Thank you. Thank you. So, okay. Here goes the magic. Here goes the fun part. Now look at the screen going out. So I'm gonna lay it on here where and make, you want, again, you want to kind of size it up because you want to make sure that it's straight. I mean, you could do cuts and stuff like that. You could do whatever you want, but for this one, of course, we just want it to be straight. So you kind of want to make sure that it's lining up. And it is kind of as straight as you want it to be. I'm going to move that a little bit down. So I'm going to see, I don't want it to be like too far down. But some parts on this bottom part of the skirt, I don't know why it's hanging so much lower. So I might have to go in and like knit, kind of like cut off the bottom part of that, like just nip it, because you can see the kind of white down there. I don't know why that it is hanging down like that. You know, you get on live, stuff be trying to really cut up, but why, it's still going to be fine. I promise you, it's still going to be fine regardless of that little blooper down there. So again, this is just really the part where you just eyeball it. You kind of see if it's lined up, if it's kind of like where you want it to be. I don't know. I kind of feel like my skirt is a little bit twisted. Let's try this one more time, because this is really the part right here that takes the time. Putting the skirt together is super easy. This is the part where you just have to play around with and just, you know, I was just, again, taking your time, and like, I just want to make sure I line it up like it's straight. It didn't feel like it was straight to me, like it was a little slanted. So I said, let me just go ahead and start over and make sure that it's the skirt is straight. So it looks pretty straight. Ooh, actually, it looks like it was before I moved it, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. So we're gonna go back again, put this on top of there. Make sure you want to line it up, and sometimes even what I would do to make sure that it is even on both sides. Ooh, the screen, would you stop it? To kind of make sure that it's lined. Like, I have the same amount of space over here that I have over there, which is about like 14, I'm seeing. And so, no, this was not. That is not. Starting here from the thing. Yeah, 14. Starting from that. Oh, I moved it. It was right, and I moved it. So, yeah, you want to make sure that it's lined up. And now that we have that part together, then that's when you get to cut. And now, they have numbers down here, so I'm going to count out. Like, I'm going to start at 0. Like, on the bottom of the ruler, I'll pick it back up and show you after, but they have numbers at the bottom of the ruler from 0 to 18. So we're literally cutting from, we're putting, I guess you could say 19 slits in here because it starts at 0. So we're doing 0 all the way over to 19. And like I said, when I was used to do this before, I would be like, oh, what number am I at? So I'm going to yell them out. And again, you want your blade to be sharp. I did not change this. I just recently changed this not too long ago. But to be safe than sorry, you want to go ahead and make sure your blade is super sharp when you cutting this, because you don't want to have to go, like this. You just want to be able to go one time. I did that one time, and it get these little it look like Edward Scissorhands, so you don't want that. You want to put your rotary blade in there. And of course, if I had a big mat, this probably will be so much easier. But I am getting me one, y'all. I don't have one. So you do want to press a little bit harder on here. So that was 0. And I know you can't really see me in the corner just yet, but I'll be moving over to that side in a second. So it's actually it's two before it gets to, it's actually every other one. So it's like 0, I say 0.5, then 1. So I did 3 already. And now we're getting to is my thing. Just remembered to look up. I was like, wait. So we were at 2.5, and now we're going to 3. And I said, I don't know if you heard this part because it went out, that keep in mind this is plastic. So you can, with this blade, you can kind of cut into the plastic. So just, kind of just take your time and make sure you're cutting in between that little fine line, that little space that they have in there. So that was 4. Now it's 4.5. We did 4.5. Now it's 5. And I move my finger over. That's to help guide through. So now 5.5. Okay. And now we at 6. And then I'm just saying 6.5 because it's, again, I noticed that it's a space in between each one, so it's technically double the amount that I said. So we're not doing 18. We're not doing 18. We're doing double that. So you could, you could do the math. So I hope I ain't skipped one. Shoot. Because it ain't nothing like having to go back and trying to line it up. Ooh, and the screen keep trying to go out, y'all. So we at 9. And again, like I said, once I get through this part, I'll look at your comments. But I can't. I got to concentrate on this. 9.5. And then we at 10. 10.5. 11. And with this print on here, it's really hard. It's really hard to tell if you did miss one because you can't tell. 11.5. Ooh, child. And then in there, 12. 12.5. 13. All right. 13.5. 14. 14.5. 15. 15.5. I'm just going to tap the screen just in case I feel like it was getting ready. We want to tap out 16. 16.5. 17. 17.5. 18. So let's hope and pray that I did not skip one. Don't look like that I did. But sometimes, it may skip. Again, probably if you have a, depending on what type of mat that you have, you may not. So what I do, because of the fact that sometimes at the end, at the very end, it doesn't cut through. So I have to go through and cut it. And that's why I say too, it's important to use a blade that is already that's sharp, so you don't have to go ahead and go through this part. And when you get to like the corners over here, like I get ready to show you, you could kind of decide how you want to break those up, because it is going to be a larger piece, but depending on uh it just kind of depends on how it cuts, because everyone is not created equally when it gets to the side. So you could kind of decide how you want to do that. But for right now, we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to go finish through the other ones. And we'll come back to that. So now just what I do is just make sure that it's, if I were to change my blade, I might not have to be cutting through these little ones right here. Because you know it's just knit, so it snags some, but you don't want it. You kind of want to take your time and go through these. But you'll save yourself some time if you just use a new blade. But again, you got to also remember too that you're cutting through that plastic, and sometimes it get caught on the plastic. Uh, and so that might, mess up what you're cutting a little bit. But it's nothing major. It's just, this is just a little, nothing's perfect. So you just have to take the, the good with the bad. But it saves you a whole hell of a lot of time having to do it like one by one using a regular ruler. You see, it didn't take no time to cut through them, and they all are the same size. But depending on, like I said, the fabric you use, and if your blade is sharp, you may have to go through and knit through those little pieces if they're stuck, because this doesn't always happen. But I am using a rib knit that is a little bit more delicate than a regular ponte knit that I would use. But I think y'all would like the finished product after this. Like I said, this don't really take that long to do. I'm just going through, and y'all know how it is when you cut out knit. You might be cutting something and it kind of skips somewhere. So that's pretty much what I'm doing right here. So I'll look at y'all's thing in a minute. Let me just go ahead and get through this so I can actually let y'all see what it looks like, what the fringe actually looks like. I think it's so cute. That is so cute. So again, all of them, I didn't have to do it with all of them. It's just some of them. And again, it's only a little bit that you just got to nick through. It's not. And again, when we get here to the side, when it gets to that side, oop, almost lost y'all. When you get to the side seam, you can decide if you want to cut it or, leave that part big. So let's see here. Let's see what we're working with. Okay. You want to gently rub your hands through it to make sure that your hands can get through it. That means nothing is together, nothing is snagged or caught up in there. So this is what it's giving. This is what it's giving. Whoop. And again, you can make your fringe longer, so you could like move it up some. And but again, you saw how I had to do that. So yeah, I'm okay with this amount of fringe. Okay, it's giving what it needs to give, but you can definitely make the fringe longer if you want. Like if you want to be real dramatic with it, you can. But this is enough for me. But trust and believe, if they had a longer ruler, baby, I probably would get it just so I can play around with doing even longer fringe. But I'm not sure if I want to say I want to create that on my own. But if they have a ruler, if there is a ruler out there that I could use to do that, I'm just saying, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if your girl gets it. Okay? So yeah, so now that we have, and that's it. Like, you don't do anything else with the bottom of this. That is it. So can you imagine? Y'all know I like to go dancing. Like, yes. Like, I'm so excited for the spring. This is really getting me in spring mode. So all right, y'all, let me move y'all back over. So that's it. That is that's how you create the fringe. Let me plug y'all back up. That's how the prince. Whoops, hold on. They was like, girl, they gave me a thing like, no rotating. What are you over there doing? But here we are. Here we are. So we're gonna put the elastic in. So let me go back through the comments. Happy birthday! Thank you. I purchased one also. Yes, it's a beautiful skirt. Thank you. Let it go out when you are done to see if we can see you if it's okay. I'll do that because trust me, I'm pretty sure it's about to go out again. I don't know why I keep blacking out, but yeah, I'll let it go and see what it does. Um, I would pull it up on my, but I don't want the echo, child. You know, if it ain't broke, we're not trying to fix it, right? So sorry, I like in y'all face real fast. I need to get. Now we're gonna go ahead and put the elastic in. Where is my safety pins? It's like oh, here they go. I'm about to say they should be right. Oh, it's about to go out, y'all. So let me know if it's. I can still see y'all. It's dark, but I can see y'all still. But it ain't go completely all the way out. I'm back. Did it black all the way out? Did it black out for y'all? Because I could see y'all a little bit, and then it just went completely black. So let me know that it black all the way out. But see, I'm just using a regular safety pin to snake mines through. I know they said it's another tool that you could use. I forget what it's called, but tried and true safety pin. So all I'm doing is taking the safety pin and putting it through that little hole that we made in the waistband. You said, yeah, it did go out. See, I don't even know what's up with that. I gotta, like, is they really trying to make me really get StreamYard? Because, look, it's going out again. Like, just let me be great. I see that it is 16 people on here. Thank y'all so much. Y'all making the girl feel special. Okay, an early birthday present to me. Just y'all showing up and showing me some love. The only thing next I just need y'all to do for the ones that did not like the video yet, if y'all could please like it. You unfortunately you are going to have to go out and come back in because you can't like it from here. But if y'all could please like the video, I would greatly appreciate it. It would be a nice birthday gift to your girl over here. I don't ask for much. I don't ask for much, but I appreciate it. So yeah, I'm just snaking this through. And I have a little bit more room in my waistband than I need to. So I could have put I think honestly, let me see with the width of the elastic. So it's supposed to be 1 1/4. I'm using a 1 inch. So that's why I'm like, I got more room in here. So your elastic should be 1 1/4. Because you don't really want a lot of room in your waistband, so it could be flipping and turning on you. You don't want that. So, but I'm using it since I already cut it. I'm gonna go ahead and just use this waist elastic that I cut, but I will get some more. So I'm not gonna close up the hole because I do want to get a thicker elastic though. But for the sake so I can show y'all this, I'm going to go ahead and still use this elastic and put it on through here. I don't mind wasting a piece of elastic for y'all because that's my fault. I should have double checked that, but I did not. I'm so used to using 1 inch that, yeah. You said it paused, but you could see me clearly on the TV. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why is it pausing? You know, why is it doing that? I'm not sure why it was doing that. But, yeah. So right now I'm just snaking it through, but make sure you don't allow the other end to get caught up in there because then you want to start all over if you can't get it out. So I always, like, when I get close to the end, I always like keep my finger on it. So that way it does not do that, because it ain't nothing like you getting all the way to the end and it gets caught in there and you got to start all over. It is, that is not pretty. So now for this, I use the regular zigzag stitch. I don't do a narrow. I just do use the regular zigzag that is on your machine, to close up the elastic. And I go over it like a few times. I don't have no set way of how I do it. I just freestyle it, and just because, with this, and I take it, turn it around, and go back the other way to close it up. That's, I can kind of show y'all, to kind of like close it up, because you're going to be pulling on this a lot. You can also backstitch it too, which I normally do, but like I said, when it comes to this part, child, I don't have no set way of doing it. All you do, you want to just make sure that you go over that waistband quite a few times, because you're going to be pulling on it a lot and you don't want it to pop. So that's that. And I'll show you, like, you see what I mean? I went over it quite a few times. You want to just make sure that you hit that bad boy up. If you want to cut off a little bit of the excess, if you feel like you got more of the waistband on there, you could do that. Okay, and then we're going to close it in. So now we have it all the way in the waistband. And the next thing is just to put it on. And look at that, we're an hour and a half in and we're done. So I'm gonna put it on really quickly to show y'all. Let me take, because I was gonna put it on right over these pants, but that's a lot of prints going on. That's a lot of print going on at one time. So let me go ahead and not be lazy and take these pants off, y'all. And so I can show y'all what the skirt looks like. I'll put because I have like knee boots on, so I'll put the boots back on so you can see what it would look like too with some knee boots as well. Just give me a second. Make sure the screen it. Nope, the screen did not go up. So, ooh, the skirt is definitely, it is cute. Yep, y'all still here. I'm like, did the screen go out? So, it looks wild with these boots though. Let me take these boots. The boots I don't quite like. So I'm gonna just show y'all what it looked like just by itself. You see here, do your full turnaround. I love it. I love it because I'm a person, it's going out on me. I'm not a hippie person. And so I like the fact because it gives me illusion of, like, it looks like I got a little bit of hips, y'all, don't it? But I love the fact that, it's just fun. Fringe to me is fun and flirty. So, and again, like I said, I like to dance. So that just adds an extra element to it. But also, too, like when you walking, you know what I mean? I'm also in my sophomore era. So this kind of allows me, it makes me feel kind of like dainty and, all of that. But I will prefer, me, honestly, a nice little heel. If you're a person that like heels, you can also wear these with some flats. I had my boots here, but it's like, it messes with the fringe, in my opinion, because so that's why I didn't even put them on. I was like, oh no, I don't like how that looked. So I'm not even going to show y'all that. But, I mean, like, what? Come on. It's so cute. Look, I'm all smiling. You couldn't even see my face, but I was like, it just makes me feel so like dainty and pretty. So I hope y'all let me see, let me go through y'all comments, but I hope y'all like it and then that y'all will try it. You said, oh, I like that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's beautiful. The skirt fits you well. Thank you for. Yes, you are quite welcome. You are welcome. So remember, it is meant to be fitted, so you can, you cut it to the size of your liking. I am happy for one that I made this last year. Your girl can still it fits me and it fits me well. Like it fits me how I would like for it to fit. So I'll just say I'm on the right track because I was like, this thing may not fit, but that the pattern's already cut. But yeah, like I like it. I think it's perfect for spring. I think it's a perfect transition with the print, with the colors, and everything. I had to make me a cute little shirt to go with this. And even with the elastic not being the right size, I think I'm gonna still even leave it in there. Anyway, I what I can do to keep it, I can do an understitching under here to keep it in place too. So that's another thing that I could do. That you know what I mean. You could do if you didn't have that, or you could just make the waistband do more seam allowance, and and that'll also make it smaller. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and keep that in there because it's good and it fits well. So thank you, Zena. Good afternoon. We'll try it. Nice job. You have this pattern. Great. So again, I'll show the pattern again. So this is, I use view D to be able to create this. So I hope you guys do. And if you do, please tag me. I really would like to see your final result of it and be a part of this fringe world. I love fringe. So I think, yeah, I'm going to be definitely doing more fringe. And probably a French, let me try like a French top too. Because this girl, my stomach wouldn't be all out. For those that wear their stomachs out, you can show it all. Kudos to you. Your girl over here, I can do it with some French though. I'm like, I can do it with French. I can probably, make that happen with some French. That make me feel a little bit more comfortable. But yeah, it's gonna be a French summer. I feel it. I feel it in my spirit. So y'all, that's it. So as you can see, if I could do this in an hour and a half of showing you all of this from front, you know what I mean, from the beginning to the end, I'm pretty sure you could do this same time, an hour and a half or an hour. Because if you're new to doing the fringe with the skirt, that's, as you can see, you want to take your time and do that because that really will make or break the skirt. So, but outside of that, to sew it up, it takes no time. So that's all I have for you guys. Those that, again, if you're watching this on the replay, if you have any questions, you can leave it in the comments. But thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time for another Midday Quickie. Yeah. Have a good day, everybody. Did you cut the fringe on the ends? Wait, what do you mean? Did you cut the fringe on the ends? Are you talking about to the ends of what do you mean? I cut it all the way to the end. But once you cut the fringe, that's it. There's nothing else left that you have to do to it. But I don't know, Gaynell. Feel like you was here. Oh, you said that I cut the side seam. So here goes the side. I did not cut it because it is a part of my seam. So this one right here is a little bit thicker, but you can't tell when they all together. So that's why I said it's your own discretion. Now it's this one right here. I am gonna because it's on that seam and it's open. So what I'm going to do is make a stitch over top of this and cut this open only because the other side is showing. But see, this side is not, so I'm going to leave it. So like what I said, it's totally up to you how you want to do it. But because this print is so busy, you wouldn't be able to really see it. But you can see this one though, because of the way that it's flipping out. So for this one, I am going to go and open this up so that way it lays flat out. Because it's close to the seam. That's the only reason why you're seeing that white right there. But like on this one right here, I am not going to, well, actually, yes, I am. I'm going to do it for both of them. I'm going to do it for both of them. And that way, that they're all, when it gets to the seam, it's always going to be a little tricky right there. But you can always go, you don't want to cut through your seam though. So what I'm going to do for that side, it's going to be probably slightly smaller because you don't want to cut through the seam. You don't want to cut through your seam because that's the seam that goes all the way up to the top of your skirt. So we don't want nothing falling off. You can also put a stitch there too to make sure. But again, I've never had any issue. I've made several of these. I never had any issue. But I do normally will cut this kind of like through the middle without this. So I can show you here. You can see that the seam is right here. Well, damn, it's hard to really. The seam is right here. But I'm not going to, so I'm going to cut it like through the middle, which means that the part of the seam is going to be on one side and the other side is going to hang. Whatever you do, just don't cut through your seam. That's it. Do not cut through your seam. You could do whatever you want, crisscross, applesauce, what all around it, but don't cut through the seam. Okay, so I'm glad you asked that question. That way I can make sure I cover that. But I don't care what you do not cut through that seam because it goes all the way up to the side seam of your skirt. And, you know, we don't want all our goodies to be hanging out. Okay, and then we blame that on me. Absolutely not. So, yes, so that's it. Enjoy the rest of you guys' day. I will see you next time for our midday quickie. And yeah, have a good one.